Right now, we're ready for the first of two heats in the 100-yard dash. Two heats because a lot of the superstars like their chances in this competition. The two winners will move to the finals along with the next three fastest times. Let's check out the lane assignments in heat number 1. Running out of lane number 2 will be Maury Wills. We know about his speed. He won the veterans competition in the 100. Next to Wills in lane number 3, Ron LeFlore. He won his competition with the baseball players. He can really motor. Bill Buckner is in lane number 4, a very versatile athlete and a very strong competitor. He could be a threat. And in lane number 5, Joe Theismann and Bob Uecker. If we put Ben Davidson on his blind side, you'd see how fast the quarterback can really move.
You know, I think Theismann's got great lateral movement, Frank. It's going to be interesting to see just what he does here in this dash. Ron LeFlore has got to be the favorite.
All right, set to go. First of two heats. And Wills off with a good start. But look at LeFlore right in the middle of the track. He's opening up a lead over Buckner and Wills. It's LeFlore. It's going to be Buckner, Wills, and Theismann. It's going to be close for third. And I believe that Theismann got it. Nope, they give it to Maury Wills. Let's take a look at it again, Bob. Good start.
And a great start by Ron LeFlore, pulling away from the field. There you see Buckner, Frank, and you talked earlier about Buckner maybe surprising people. He does right here with a second-place finish in the dash. Wills is third, and Theismann finishes fourth.
And Don's with the winner.
Well, Ron, I'll tell you, winning with ease, and that is the story in this preliminary right here. You turned around and looked back, and we're saving yourself a little bit.
Well, you know, it's a tough competition coming up the next heat. And it wouldn't need me burning myself out now as long as I know I could make the finals. And so I'm in the finals, and now I'm going to have to open up everything.
I was wondering, it's a little windy, and is it a little crosswind maybe, or is it a little trailing wind, or are you actually running into it? How's it out on the track?
It's somewhat crosswind, you know, but it's more in your favor coming towards the finish line.
I'm going to let you go and get your breath a little bit. Good luck, Ronnie.
It's real early if you're on 100-yard dash.
Ron LeFlore in the speed surfaces once again. A winning time, 10.59.
Hello, how you doing?
Doing just fine, thank you. The results of the first heat for the 100-yard dash. LeFlore, the winner, in a breeze, followed by Buckner, Wills, and quarterback Joe Theismann. Lightens up the day here in the Bahamas. That's a long way to the frigid weather up north. We're almost ready for heat 2 in the 100-yard dash. Ron LeFlore won easily in the first heat. And in this heat, the man to watch is Greg Pruitt, the swift running back of the Cleveland Browns. Pruitt, considered a favorite in this event, and his credentials on the field certainly justify that fact. 1978 was an injury-ridden season for Pruitt. It prevented Greg from a fourth consecutive 1,000-yard year for the Browns. Nevertheless, the former Oklahoma All-American gained 960 yards in the few games he was able to play. It was a long and tiring campaign for Greg, and earlier I asked him if his subpar performance in last week's preliminaries could be a result of those season-long injuries.
Well, I hurt my elbow against the Denver Broncos, and I hyperextended my elbow, and it kind of hurt me to extend my elbow, and I didn't do as well in the weightlifting as I think I could have. I don't think my elbow affected me as much as not concentrating. So, you know, the key for me is I'm going to have to win the weightlifting today.
Mr. Magic of the Cleveland Browns, Greg Pruitt. Ready now for the second heat. The winner of this heat will join Ron LeFlore. He won the first heat and the next three fastest times of both heats. Lane assignments. In lane number 2, Lynn Swann. He was a sensational prep school hurdler in California before he went to USC. Lane number 3, and he's the man we told you about, Greg Pruitt. Blazing speed, around a 9.7 here a year ago. John Havlicek, he with the long legs. He's in some pretty fast company. And lane number 5, Jim Taylor. Nobody could move 5 yards like this man in his prime. Those are the lane assignments. What do you like, Bob?
Well, I'll tell you, Frank, this is my first time ever watching Greg Pruitt run without pads. I'm really looking forward to this race. He and Swann ought to have a beauty.
They'll come out of there right together, and then watch Greg Pruitt. He really winds up those little legs. Look at Jim Taylor. Good start. Swann and Pruitt. We thought they'd be off together, and Greg Pruitt begins to pull away. Swann, he's staying right with Pruitt. Pruitt just easing up, and Swann's going to take the race, but Greg Pruitt, as you saw, just eased off. Lynn Swann the winner, and I think Greg just let him have that one, Bob.
Maybe he is better with pads on, Frank. I'll tell you, I don't think that was his best effort. Here you see it one more time. Greg Pruitt out in front, and watch Swann come on as Pruitt eases back a bit. Swann wins it. Don Drysdale is with a move.
It looked like he just kind of coasted a little bit, Greg, at the end, and Swanee kind of nipped you in the preliminaries.
I looked right and he went left.
Lynn, what about you? Were going all out all the way.
No, I wasn't going all the way. I was just striding with Greg about halfway down, and then Greg slowed up. I figured, well, I might as well win this one because it's going to be tough in the finals.
Well, you both have Ron LeFlore, and he can motor.
Yeah. I'm just going to try to get out of the blocks first. Let them catch me.
It appeared that you had a real good start, Greg.
On this heat?
Yeah.
I wasn't running at all.
In other words, you're coasting and saving it, right, Lynn?
When Greg Pruitt gets a good start, he's 10 yards down the runway while we're all just coming out of the blocks.
Okay, good luck, guys.
The results of heat number 2, Lynn Swann, the winner, followed by Greg Pruitt, John Havlicek, and Jim Taylor. And these men have qualified for the final of the 100-yard dash, which we'll see later. Bill Buckner, Greg Pruitt, Lynn Swann, Ron LeFlore, and Maury Wills. Pruitt and LeFlore, the favorites, football against baseball. Coming up, the tennis.